Hello everybody! A lot of us creatives find ourselves hitting something like a roadblock. We stare at a blank page and nothing comes out that we want. All around us, artists are practically pumping out these amazing pieces while we sit with the also-hated blank page staring back at us. Why can't we just create? What's going on? This is a little phenomenon us artists refer to affectionately as art block. Let's talk about that. Sometimes art block might be this little thing in your path that you could just kick over and move past after a couple hours or days, but a lot of the time, however, it's this huge, looming, gigantic piece of something we can't move past. You can look at any current social media like Twitter or Instagram and see plenty of posts daily of people struggling from this monster we call art block. Today we're gonna kick our art block into a corner so it leaves us alone. For those of you who mayhaps haven't heard the term before, art block is probably what you'd imagine it to be just based on words alone. It's like this mental blocker or disconnect between your imagination and your hands where you just can't create what you feel like you want to or should be able to. You feel like you lack creativity, inspiration, and nothing you try to make looks good to you. You feel stuck in a rut and unmotivated. Picking up the pencil, so to speak, is difficult. Sometimes you have inspiration, but no matter what, you feel like your hands just cannot and will not make what you see in your head. No worries, we'll try to work through all of this. I think a good start is to go back to your roots. Think about what made you begin your artistic venture in the first place. What kicked off that little spark in your heart that made you want to create? What used to drive you? For me, as a little girl, I used to draw quite a bit. I got a lot of compliments from my family and what have you. The compliments, however, wasn't my drive. I did not care how good I was. I mean, I was a child. I enjoyed creating worlds of my own, characters of my own. I could escape the real world in them. It was comfort, but it was also an outlet. For me, drawing has always been a comfort in this world that I know I can always go back to no matter what. I could create whatever I wanted, and with that, I found a love for creating characters and stories. I draw because of that. Of course, that molds a little bit over time. I love creating fan arts of characters I love and learning new art styles, but deep down over time, the underlying motivating factor is that drive to just create. I can make characters with various personalities, backstories, cute outfits, problems, solutions, etc. That is my purpose, but a person's purpose can vary. Think about why you like to draw in the first place and explore it again. Keep it in your back pocket as you progress through all this. With that purpose, think about goals also. Things that you want to accomplish. You should think in terms of things that you know you can get to at some point, such as maybe perfecting the way you draw feet or working on a webcomic you've always put off. You could also take concepts you really enjoy and create goals pertaining to those. Maybe for instance, you think fairies are super cool. You could draw a series of fairy-inspired characters. Maybe you like really veggie things. You could work towards a cool story you've had random thoughts about doing someday but never got to. Whatever it may be, set those goals. Then communicate those goals. Let it be known, not just to your friend circle, but yourself. Reinforce those goals, and you're going to make them happen no matter the pace. This gives you a focus and something to kind of head towards when you're lost and don't know where to go. Speaking of communication, let's talk about your community, your friend circle. Nowadays, pretty much everything we do has something to do with social media, like posting to Facebook or Twitter. Maybe you and your friends post art to Instagram. You, of course, as a person, don't want to be in an echo chamber, just reading and seeing people stuck in the same place as you, saying the same things and not improving like you feel you are. But you also don't want to surround your social media in accounts that don't really benefit you. I'd recommend that you fill your feeds with artists and personalities who inspire you and drive you to keep going. People who encourage you to push your own boundaries and positively work through your hardships. We have control over who we see, so why have your racist Uncle Larry yelling on your Twitter feed? Unfollow, mute, block, do whatever you need to do to mold your online landscape into something that works for you. If you have friends who are dragging you down, either unfollow, mute, or what have you so that you're still friends, but maintain this mental distance where you aren't bombarded with posts that anchor you down into uninspired land. Don't let yourself be driven away from your art, but support friends who support you and what you do. Make it a healthy system. You know what I'm saying? They are always out there, and hey, if you feel like you don't have the support system you need, we are here for you at the bare minimum. We think what you do is amazing and that you shouldn't give up. A lot of us, when struggling with art block, feel we lack inspiration. You just can't find it. Nothing is really scratching that itch that makes you want to draw. Let's stir up the old imagination again, huh? One thing you can do along with the whole community thing is to follow your idols. Art that you know inspires you and makes you want to create. Surround your social media feeds in art that gets those creative juices flowing or makes you just feel good or drives you to want to do more or anything for that matter. Another thing you can do is just not look at their art but examine their art. Download their pictures, zoom in, trace, think about how they use each stroke if possible. Watch speed paints, watch tutorials, and just absorb. Don't worry about getting to their level necessarily, but think about new things that you could try out and that would be fun and interesting. You could also try little practices or exercises, like drawing tutorials on specific parts. You can watch an anatomy tutorial on hands the professional way and try drawing like that for fun for a bit. And you don't have to be perfect or draw that way all the time, but it'd be some neat skills that you could have in your back pocket in the future to sort of implement into your drawing if you wanted to. You would also have this awesome new skill to use. It would be awesome to level up as an artist when you are stuck in what you feel like is a bad art block. Another thing you could do is create mood boards. It's something still creative, but it isn't necessarily like a drawing or painting or written piece. You can fill your mind with interesting concepts and maybe piece together imagery you wouldn't have imagined going together on your own normally. That'd be fun to post also. Like for instance, if you're tracing and analyzing your idol's art, you wouldn't want to post that, but at least a mood board you can post and enjoy yourself with. One thing I love to do, which I'll recommend to you guys, is redrawing old pictures. It's sometimes really interesting to see how you've changed, whether it's been 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years, and so on. I will literally go into old sketchbooks sometimes and draw doodles next to old doodles signed with the new date, and sometimes you can see as many as 4 or 5 iterations of the same doodle with different signed dates in my sketchbooks. I find it to be incredibly fun, and also gets my juices flowing. Doing that yourself could kind of help you realize that you actually have come a long way, maybe more than you thought, or even at a bare minimum, just a splash of difference from how you used to be. And it's interesting to see and analyze, take notice, and move on with. A newish concept you can maybe take a stab at is participate in these draw this in your style thingamabobbers that artists do. It's where someone on, let's say, Twitter or Instagram or what have you, posts a drawing that they made and has either just like a contest or events of sorts where they have you tag, draw this in your style or whatever, and you draw that picture but in your, your spin on it. And it may be interesting to take somebody's concept and remix it into your own style, as well as check out how others draw the same thing. Even though it's, the same concept, it's amazing to see how all these different people draw the same thing super different. It's cool, and you might be able to learn something new from it. This next one is maybe obvious, but think about fandoms or media you really enjoy. Maybe your favorite band is, I don't know, like 21 Pilots, and you could draw them in your style, or maybe make a piece based off a song you really love. Maybe you like SpongeBob growing up. You could totally draw humanized versions of your favorite characters. You could do weird mashups like, I don't know, like drawing Dante from Devil May Cry and Bakugo from Boku no Hero's like outfit, his hero outfit, some silly things like that. Like once I drew the main character from Kill la Kill and Madoka's outfit, and I drew that magical girl outfit, but it's in her colors and what have you. It's very interesting. Draw them in maybe different expressions or scenarios, or just plain old fan art if even that does it for you. Don't abandon the things you love. Things aren't always sparkles and roses though. Sometimes your problem isn't that you aren't drawing, but maybe you're drawing a smidge too much. You're drawing incredibly too much, too fast. You're beyond pushing yourself, trying to meet deadlines, or making a point to churn out pieces as fast as other artists you see. Maybe you feel just exhausted, like creating feels like too much work. My friend, you are experiencing burnout. You're overworked, your body and mind says, I'm out, but you still want to work. But you find yourself enjoying art less and you struggle to create out of your own freedom and imagination. This is a major red sign flashing. It's time to take a break. Time to refresh the noggin. Take your mind off the process completely. Go for a walk or maybe reorganize your room. Do some sort of task that lets you productively take your mind off of your art and just let yourself breathe while focusing on something you can do so you don't lose your mind. You could work out, try cooking a new dish, watch a movie, whatever works to get you out of a zone where you feel you are in quicksand but have to keep chugging out of it. Afterwards, you may feel refreshed and you can get back to what you love doing now that you can look through fresh eyes. Another big problem I see people have who are struggling is this concept that they have to create something perfect. Now, I've talked about this concept a lot, but I'm going to talk about it again and again. The biggest component of art is the process. It's It's the strokes, the coloring, the shading, and keeping yourself busy with a task you enjoy, producing results that make you happy or invoke other emotions. A lot of you out there are bombarded every day by artists seemingly pumping out pure perfection, and you don't understand why you can't also. You start drawings and don't finish because they just aren't good enough. This is something that I find the most difficult to work on because this is a concept that is inside of your own head. No one has an issue with what you are creating, and no one expects you to be as good as your idols. And just because you aren't creating what your idols are, doesn't mean that you aren't a good artist. Art isn't about being good or bad. It's about communicating something visually. There isn't a timeline, a racetrack, or a finish line to how you draw. It's determined 100% by you yourself. It's okay to be jealous, but there is a time when you need to draw the line. Pun not entirely intended. Why are you allowing yourself to be stopped by what other people are doing? There's no guidelines. There's no syllabus, no requirements, no rules. And again, think about your purpose. Are you drawing because it's pleasurable to you? Or are you drawing because you want a bunch of strangers to pat you on the back? Is the driving factor for your artwork to be a skinwalker of some other artist? Think about it. Be real with yourself. You need to take a minute and look at this situation for what it is. Are you really stopping something you love because of something so trivial? There may be a large possibility that the artist or artists you're comparing yourself to don't even know who you are. But does what they think matter? What will you accomplish if you actually drew as good as what you perceive them to? Then what? Does the problem magically go away? Probably not. You're still gonna have issues, so why let this bother you? Forget what they're doing and do something that's uniquely yours. Give yourself time to love yourself and what you do for what it's worth, and not to shackle yourself with perfectionism. Don't focus on the minute details being absolutely perfect. Nothing is, and I promise your idol's work isn't absolutely perfect either. And they started out just like you. Over time, doing what they love and enjoy, they got to where they are now. They didn't do what you're doing right now, projecting yourself onto their path. You will improve. You will succeed and enjoy yourself, but not if you're comparing yourself to others and pacing yourself on someone else's timeline, someone else's progress and process. Your art is yours, not theirs. If it helps, if you're really struggling with this, unfollow artists if seeing their art is hindering you like that. And remind yourself not to focus on values like views or likes and all those numbers, but on the creative process you enjoy. And do not feel failure, as failure improves you, not hinders you. Next up, here's where things may be a little bit less than pleasurable. Maybe what you need is some discipline. Think about that. But we don't like discipline. Discipline isn't easy. We want all things to be easy. We have a system set up where perhaps we draw when we're bored or just whenever. That isn't helpful, because then you're kind of trapping yourself in an environment that makes art block really easy. Maybe you might need to buckle down and rework how you're drawing. Maybe set aside a time to draw, like when you come home from school or on weekends. And if you do it professionally, perhaps set a work schedule you can stick with. Not only that, but you need to form habits out of this. Good habits. Try to reward your brain and form positive habits. For instance, one artist I read online would give himself a small treat or snack or something every time he drew or finished something until it became a habit. That way, it's as if his brain became addicted to creating. You gotta buckle down, grit your teeth, and wade through those waters until it becomes a natural process you don't even have to think about. Okay, so this next part is going to be pretty difficult to cover, but I still want to talk about it because it's still a factor, and a big one at that: depression. I am no doctor, and unfortunately I cannot just reach through the screen and fix this for you, but it is still something that can hinder the creative process. I personally rarely suffer from art block. There's almost not enough time in the universe to create all of the things that I want to. Drawing for me is like eating or using the bathroom. It's like an everyday process. It brings me comfort. I like to draw when I'm happy. I like to draw when I'm upset. Drawing feels like home, but there's even sometimes where I just can't. The light is gone. I just don't want to draw. I don't want to do anything. That's depression. And that's not something finding extra inspo is gonna magically fix. That's an imbalance of chemicals in your brain, and it's something you should work on with doctors and therapists if you are able to. In the meantime, don't forget to take care of yourself. Try to sleep as regularly as possible. Drink water, eat foods that fuel your body and make you feel good. Get some sunlight. Get up and stretch every once in a while. Do a set of like 15 squats every hour or so. Get your blood flowing. Surround yourself in positivity and put your own health and well-being first. In terms of drawing, try some mindless doodles just to do it. The occasional scribble in your own free time isn't harmful. Perhaps habitually doodling here and there might reawaken your desire to draw again for a bit. For me personally, what works was this. I have hypothyroidism. This means untreated, all of my hormones are out of whack, and this can lead to depression. When my medication is off, I will know because I become fatigued and unwilling to participate in anything, among other issues. The solution is to adjust my medication and play the long game, which is a couple of weeks of my body adjusting to the new medication level, but also me doing what I can to take care of myself. Maybe I'll trim my hair, try a new makeup look, do a face mask, play video games, watch a series, or take a nap. Anything I can to take care of myself and fix back in the center. It's difficult, but eventually I'll get there. I gotta adjust how I'm eating and eat better, I gotta exercise, all kinds of things to rework into, a good state of being, which is really, really difficult, but it can come. One thing I'd also suggest is take some time to try to figure out if you can convert any negative feelings or bad emotions that you have into your artwork. Find ways to use that as an outlet, not as, something you should be doing, but something that kind of helps you unscrew the jar, if you know what I'm saying, and just release things that are on your mind or making you feel weighted down. There's not a lot I can do, and it's really difficult, and I know, but I hope any and all of you who may be suffering from that can get the help you need and make this world work for you. Alright, that's my take on getting through art block for various reasons. I really, really do hope this helps, and if it does, let me know. Keep in mind, guys, that this isn't necessarily an overnight fix. Could resolve in minutes, but maybe even days. You have to maintain patience and acceptance. Also, if you have any tips you want to add on to this, drop them in the comments. I'd love to know, and I'm sure everybody else will too. Feel free to give me your thoughts and feelings as always, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the speed paint in the video, never hesitate to drop them below. If you want full PSDs, walkthroughs, shoutouts, whips, and other magical goodies, head over to patreon.com/yukibuns. Thank you so much for my current supporters. Also, my Etsy's reopened! Yee-haw! I have some new goodies, and I really hope you enjoy them. Links, as always, are in the description, along with social media and the rest of hoopla you may be looking for. Any video topic suggestions, as always, drop them below. It is never off topic. Thanks so much, guys, and happy creating. Bye!